Hey everybody, this is AJ.
This is Jurn.
And apparently you guys this week want to hear the story of how we met. By the way, I just got that here, so mission accomplished.
Oh, okay. Good job. Proud of you.
So yeah, everybody, apparently, even though we've covered this before, and I put it
There's
on the poll.
There's a rockin' intro, by the way.
Yeah,
we're both so excited.
We got time constraints. We've talked about this before. We'll have fun with it. I didn't think that one would win. We were both banking on Super Broly, so best believe that's going to be on the poll again. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
If you guys don't want to vote for it, you don't have to vote for it. It's just going to be on the poll again.
Till it wins.
Yeah.
So yeah, how me and Jurn first met and started, this industry that we've accumulated for ourselves.
You want to call this an industry?
This friendship that fucking prints paper.
In this empire.
Yeah.
This Zaibatsu.
All right, just throw out words I don't know. That's fine.
Yeah, I think it's like Japanese for like company.
You think, but you say it? You just didn't know?
Yeah. Okay. I know it gets used in Tekken.
All right, fair enough.
Like Heihachi's company is like Mishima Saibatsu.
Oh, okay.
It's the Mishima company.
All right, Jurny.
So I'm just assuming, I've never officially looked it up. That's just like my assumption.
Maybe you should do that right now, just in case.
Maybe, yeah. Let's see. Saibatsu meaning in Hindi. No. Oh, a large Japanese business conglomerate.
That's exactly what we are.
Yeah.
Even down to the Japanese portion of it.
Dude, we're so fucking Japanese.
Yeah. Anywho,
why is another question that people look up is Toyota a Zaibatsu?
I mean, it isn't. It is. No, Toyota isn't Japanese, is it?
Toyota, yeah, I'm pretty sure Toyota is Japanese.
I don't know. All right, so you want to start with how we first met?
Okay, sure. I mean,
it sounds like you're recalling something to the police that you don't want to talk about anymore. You're like, sure, we can talk about it again. I already talked about it with the other officer, but whatever.
I feel really uncomfortable talking about it. No,
how many times you guys are going to make me relive this?
The thing is, I even tweeted out, we've covered this on the podcast before, but it is what it is. What I remember is from how we initially met is you were flown over to do shows for WXW. You're staying at the Academy.
No big deal.
And then it isn't. But you it was your first weekend of shows. I was driving the company 9-seater, and you were put in there to drive along with that. And then to the first show, you sat in the middle row, and we barely spoke because I drove, so I sat in the front row, and Johnny Evers going shotgun, and we just spoke and goofed off in Dutch the entire time, and that's how we met.
I mean, go through the whole weekend.
The whole weekend?
Yeah, it was like 3 days.
Yeah, I remember all 3 days. I remember after that, we got to the venue, we talked a little here and there,
mm-hmm.
but on a trip, right? And then we got to the venue, and then we were there, and then we just talked some more, and then I found out oh, you're a pretty chill dude. And that's pretty much it. I don't remember if we did anything together the rest of the weekend.
All right. So I'm gonna go with my version of events. You guys ready? Since Jurny's literally took all of 2 minutes, which I didn't expect. I knew it would be short, but I didn't expect it to be that short. We're gonna be pulling teeth today.
There really wasn't anything special to our meeting.
Yeah,
I think
the actual meeting itself. But let's go from my tale of events. So I arrive on a Thursday. I meet. First off, let's talk about. Yes, Ernie was the big Ernie S was in charge of the 9-seater that
Yeah,
weekend, which is
because
very odd.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because they had me drive all the time back then, and that's because Walter told Tassilo that I, Jurn Simmons, am a quote beast on the road. So that's why.
I mean, he's a good road partner. I don't know why Walter specified beast, but
Because I was good at driving at night. It's basically what it boiled down to.
I think that's just a
Like I could
scapegoat
just,
for Walter not wanting to drive at night.
yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely what it was. Because like I've driven with Walter a bunch of times as well, like fucking company trucks and stuff, ring trucks and all that kind of stuff. And then like every time, he can't drive at night. He always just falls asleep. So I
Oh,
always had to take over. And then I would like drive us to Opera House and I would drop off Walter and then I'd still drive 2.5 hours home. And Walter like thought that was like the most impressive shit ever.
this brings light to something now.
Okay.
Because one of the last times I rode with Walter, I got real pissed because he drove to the town. We joked, we talked, we had some white monsters, great time. And then afterwards, it started snowing and the roads were real bad. And he was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna go in the one ring truck with Francis because he lives closer to me. It makes more sense. He can just go to the academy." And I was like, is there any German speakers in the 9-seater? Like, I don't. The roads are really fucking messy. Like, I don't really feel comfortable. Like, and he's like, "Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. You'll be fine. Just follow the truck." I'm like, "Yeah, but we're not going to be following you the whole time. And if something goes wrong, and like, am I insured to drive this vehicle? Like, how would that work out? Like, also
Yeah.
no German speakers in the car." And he's, "Oh, you'll be fine." I was like, "Okay, sure. I'll just do it. Whatever. Don't be a bitch, AJ." So get in the car. It's me, I think two Hungarians, Kelly, who's Portuguese, uh, maybe LSG and Shaheem were there, I think maybe, and Chris Wolf.
Okay.
I don't know, but that's relatively possibly the crew, I think. And we slid all over the place, and it was awful. It's pretty much the story. And there was
Pretty scary, yeah.
there was many near incidents where I almost pooped myself and told everybody everything was fine. It wasn't true. Not everything was fine. And I was pissed at Walter the entire way. And he was in front of me in the 9-seater, or no, in the ring truck for a good bit of time. And I was just
Yeah.
glaring a hole into the back of that truck, except for the point where I almost slid and hit it. That I was. But anyway, back to my tale of events.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh
Friday
yeah, how we
morning.
met.
Yep, it's Friday
Yeah.
morning. I'm supposed to meet the 9-seater. Now, going into town, I knew of WXW. They'd come to CCW many times. It was always a dream of mine to go to WXW. Never thought it would happen, but look at me now. I'm a big old star. Uh, wink, wink. But I was like looking into the company when going to there, and like a mutual friend of ours at the time, I was like, "Oh, like this dude's the world champ. What's he like?" So if he's the world champ, he's like a locker room leader. Wrong. I was like,
They tried to make me one, but
Yeah.
that horribly failed.
I kind of like wanted to get familiar with stuff, and the person was like, "Oh, he's super chill. Like you're gonna get along really well with him." I'm like, "Are you sure?" He kind of looks grumpy. Like he just looks like he's mean. And me, like this is years ago at this point, almost 4 years ago. So it's not the same now. But I used to have like pretty strong social anxieties about going to new places. It was very nerve wracking for me. So I wanted to be somewhat familiar. So I was like, okay, cool, And of course, that world champion at the time was, Jurn.
Yes.
So then
I was a big deal.
I was,
Not anymore, but back then I was.
but anyway, I showed up, saw Jurn there, so saw Evers, saw some other people we're riding with. I think Marius von Beethoven.
Yeah.
Who is
He and Hakeem.
Yeah,
Right?
who-
Like we're in the back.
Yeah, and Hakeem was cool. Marius, like, I really like. But he just came off so skeezy
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
and I was just like, I don't feel like I can trust this dude. But at the same time, he was the nicest. And
Yeah.
to be clear, he's never given me a reason not to trust him. That's just the vibe I had at the time. But he ended up being really cool.
Yeah, he's a super good kid.
Yeah. And So we went and drove, and like I wanted to talk to Jurn and Johnny Wood Evers, but like I was like, oh, they're speaking German, and I'm not going to interrupt them. And turns out it was just Dutch, the and all that kind of stuff, like just sounds I can't pronounce.
That's a lot of.
Yeah, a lot of things that just can't do it.
Germans think that's hilarious.
Yeah, but Ernie, like weeks later was like, yeah, you never said anything, you never like spoke up, and I was like, dude, when you and Johnny were talking, there wasn't a moment of breath. Like, when was I gonna interject? You never shut the fuck up.
You have to realize that, like, in the moment itself, I don't think either me or Johnny are aware of that.
Yeah,
like,
no, I know.
if I look back at it, like that's the thing. Like, that's, for example, like in Pro Wrestling Holland shows as well. Like, it's just a natural thing for me. I always gravitate towards Johnny, and then we just like goof off like literally the entire day. Yeah, and it just like doesn't stop. Like, if I stop to think about it, like afterwards, I do recognize it, but in the moment, you're like, oh yeah, I don't know, like everybody else is being distant.
Yeah, no, of course, I get that. So then we show up to the building, and I kind of, since Jurn is like really the only person I kind of am slightly aware of, like I think I kind of stay close to him just to be like, hey, maybe like we'll be buddies or whatever, and such said he was cool. And he's joking around, we joke around, we talk back and forth, we figure out we're chill. I wrestle that night, Ernie wrestles that night, but what really made me know that this was a locker room for me was when Jurn and Axel Dieter Jr. start talking some poop back and forth and jokingly shot on each other, but Jurn just got up on top and just laid there and didn't do anything and was just smiling, and Axel Dieter Jr. got super pissed because he was just being held down and could probably tie up Jurn, but he couldn't get up, and he was getting so pissed.
Dude, his face was so red.
Yeah, and because like, and I get it. You want to show your shit? Probably could tie up Jurn. I don't think Jurn would deny that, but not when he just holds you down.
Yeah,
and so he's getting so mad, and Jurny's not trying to do anything. He's just like, I'm just gonna hold him down and get him pissed. And that's exactly. Yeah. And I looked at the spectacle, and I was like, this is gonna be all right.
Well, I'm glad that fucking incident did that for you.
Yeah, and the weekend's not over on my end.
Okay.
That night was my 25th birthday.
Oh, I
didn't know that. Yeah, I know you fuck. Shows how much you love me.
I just don't really care about birthdays, man. So
I thought you were just gonna be like, I just don't really care about you. So
that's not true.
Oh, that's the nicest semi thing you've said directly to me ever. But so yeah, that night I end up in Tas's room. He gives me some like green shit that's like he says, "Do you like mouthwash?" I was like, "Does anybody?" And he's like, "Oh, great, drink this." And
I know exactly what you mean.
So I had some of that, and it was great. I roomed with Hakeem, and to be honest,
dude, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I mean Hakeem's great, but like at one point he was just like, "Oh, like yeah, would you?" Because I was talking on the phone, I was pretty confident, I was feeling good. I had a good match with Bad Bones, and I thought, I realized now he was just being nice, but at the time I thought he was just being like making a backhanded compliment because I was a fly-in. But he was just like, "Oh yeah," like we were talking back and forth. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, like you superstar," like yeah. And then like we kind of like went to do our own thing, and I was like, "The fuck does he mean by that?" Like, am I acting like an asshole? Like, am I? Did he hear my conversation on the phone? Like.
No, it's just Hakeem, baby.
Yeah, he's just being a good dude and making me feel good.
Like that's the thing. Like Hakeem's just a nice guy.
Yeah. Like, but like that,
like he's kind of crazy because like I did like one show in Israel, right? Like at one time.
Fuck yes.
And then he was there as well, but we were there for like they flew us over for like 3 days, even though the show was only like there's only one show.
Yeah.
Which was chill, yeah. I got paid for all 3 days, so no problem.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But they put us in this like super sweet hotel, right? It was super sunny and warm, which, was nice because it's what I expected from Israel. And like, like the hotel had like this fucking pool on the roof and all that kind of stuff. So we're all just chilling there, and like Hakeem's nowhere to be found. And then like they would take us out to dinner and stuff, and then all of a sudden Hakeem would be there. I was like, Hakeem, the fuck did you do today? You know, like where were you? He's like, oh, I worked out. I was like, the entire day? You know, yeah. I was just like, why are you? First of all, why are you working out in this heat? You know what I mean? Like you burn calories just being alive. Secondly, just fucking take a break, dude. Like you don't need to work out the entire day. Like, but he was just like, no, like I gotta get in. You know, I was just like, okay, dude, like you do you. But yeah, like there was also one time where we had like one WXW show somewhere. I don't remember all the German towns. But then we had to drive to Oberhausen, where the next day we had to go to Dusseldorf to go on the plane to go to London for the WXW show in London. And I think Hakeem was staying at the Academy. So he was driving with me and I had to drop him off there. And the thing was like, initially I was just like, yeah, I already drove all the way over there. Can like you or Andy drive? And Hakeem was like, no, I don't have a driver's license. I was like, okay. And I was just like, Andy, like, absolute. Can you like please drive? Like I'm really tired.
And his answer was absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
cool.
was like, yeah, no. He was like, yeah, no problem. He drove for like 20 minutes out of like a 3-hour trip. And I was like, I can't do it anymore. You gotta drive. I was like, God damn.
Oh, I fucking love that.
So then I just drove the rest of the way because, you know, fucking Ernie S. Beast on the road.
T-shirts coming soon.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, T-shirts coming soon on Killer Kelly's Teespring.
No. But, well, I was about to make that and put that on teespring.com/store/the Gaming just for fun.
But then I had like Hakeem as my shotgun, you know. And now that was definitely a moment for me where I was just like, all right, fucking Hakeem's a good dude. You know what I mean? Because he definitely like went out of his way to just like stay awake and stay up the entire time to just like talk to me and make sure that like we would make it.
Which is what anybody should do, to be honest.
Yeah, but a lot of guys don't. You know? So and then like, you know, he and I just like kind of talked about life and wrestling and all that kind of stuff. And like we had a really good talk. So yeah. Shout out to Hakeem. And Hakeem also has still to this day one of my favorite stories. Is like from the trip to Israel.
Okay, I was waiting for this one.
From the trip to Israel, we do this press conference before the show, basically, which is just like in front of like 20, 30 fans or some shit like that. And they ask questions. And then it's all like everybody just goes like they ask everybody. It's like, yeah, what's it like being in Israel? You know, like to wrestle here and all that stuff. Literally everybody just like does the like copy and paste the answer of kind of like, yeah, it's a great time, you know, everybody's been very like nice to us and this and that and blah blah blah, and like it's a big honor to wrestle here and like we're all looking forward to it. And then they come to Hakeem and Hakeem just like pops up, like stands up out of his chair and he goes like, I am Hakeem Wakur, the only legend in the Middle East. And he sits back down. Like he didn't even answer the question. Like he just like shouted to like 20, 30 people how he was a legend. And everybody was like, oh, all right. Fuck yeah, Hakeem.
I love that.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite stories. One of my favorite things I've ever experienced at wrestling.
But
it's just Hakeem being with Hakeem.
So I was rooming with the only legend from the Middle East, Hakeem Akor.
Yes.
And like that night, like me and him didn't really connect. He was very nice, but like I just felt super lonely, right? It was like my 25th birthday. I was kind of like wondering when I went to bed. I was like, was this a good idea? Like coming here, like I'm gonna be here for a month. Like how's it gonna be? Right? Gives anxiety and all that stuff. And like, but then like the next day, me and you joked around a little bit more in the locker room. We got changed next to each other. We seemed to connect a little bit more. I had the main event with Bad Bones that went really well, and a bunch of the guys like DeMac and Axel and Walter all came up to me afterwards. Was like, yeah, it was like good shit. You fit in like really well here, but like with us as one of the boys as well. And I was like, oh, and like, younger 25-year-old, not that much younger, but I was just kind of like, oh fuck, like I'm included. Like,
Yeah.
I know I felt really good about that. And like I've been in a lot of locker rooms in my career. I mean, I've been wrestling for like almost 12 years now.
Yeah, you've been wrestling super long.
Yeah, my entire adult life and part of my child life as well.
That's insane.
And like there's been very few that like kind of like were like, oh yeah, you're one of us. Like even CZW, which in America is what I'm most known for. Never,
Yeah.
never. Even now when I go back and they have like, or when I would go back and they had like open arms, it was never like, oh, you're one of us. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and it was always kind of like outside thing. Even if Drew tried to make me feel welcome and stuff like that, like there was always someone with a comment or something like that, or like me kind of being an afterthought. But it is what it is. It's whatever. But they were kind of, WXW was kind of like, oh yeah, you're one of us now. And like me and you connected really well. And like we teamed a couple times. Like I went home for a little bit and came back for the rest of that tour. And me and you like teamed a couple times jokingly, but like the Crown before the Crown was ever a thing.
Yeah.
And had a lot of fun. And of course that show where like people welcomed me with open arms, you had your one and only match with Ilya Dragunov and you busted his fucking nose.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I was just
Fuck with me.
like, oh shit, this Ernie S is fucking dangerous.
Okay, Shooter McGavin. Cut loose.
Tell us, how did that happen, by the way? Because you guys were like brawling on the outside or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, like it was the beginning of the match, right? And like I was like, he was just gonna tope. I was gonna cut him off with the like forearm, and my fucking forearm hit his nose.
Oh, proper cutoff. Nice. It sounds like it was an effective maneuver.
It was. It cut off the entire match, like the match ended. So, but yeah, like it split his nose open and stuff, right? But yeah, I think like 2 weeks after he was fine again. So
yeah. But so yeah, there was that night, and then we went home, and I think me and you chatted a lot more. And then like towards the end of the tour, again, like I went home and came back for a bit because they asked me to come back, and they brought me back over, and what was it? Like we did the soccer shows and stuff, and like of all things, I don't know why this sticks out, but I feel like it's a good ending to my side of the story. Like at the end of that, WXW tour, and I guess technically my second tour over there. Jurny like was like, hey, can we get a picture? And I was just like, oh, yeah, this kid knows I'm fucking famous. All right. And not really, but we took a picture, and like you actually posted on Instagram and Facebook like, hey, really glad to have this guy here. Like we actually like really connected, and like it was good to have him. I'm excited for him to be back. And like knowing you now more, and knowing you now more, and seeing the things you post, I was like, oh man, I'm one of the most genuine things he's ever posted online ever. That's like, now thinking back on it, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like we dudes.
yeah. I don't know.
I have to try to find that picture too. I'll use it for the YouTube thing, even though I found a couple good ones already.
There's a lot of pictures of two of us, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I felt like I talked about it for like 5 minutes, and you went on like this 20-minute tangent.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You can tell which one of us.
Feel bad.
You can tell which one of us is sentimental.
Yeah.
Which one has feelings, and the other one's a robot.
I mean, I do have feelings, dude. I get horny sometimes.
I don't think that's a feeling as much as it is a primal desire.
What?
Tell me,
that's not what my psychiatrist tells me.
Oh, I think they're just trying to make you feel better. I think you're wasting your money. Imagine that as a psychiatrist, someone who's just legit like, I think they just need to hear this. I don't give a fuck.
I think there's plenty of them that actually like function like that. But then again, I feel like there's plenty of people that go to psychiatrists and therapists that probably don't really necessarily need it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, sure.
So kind of, it's a double-edged sword.
I'm trying to find this one really cute picture where your head's just laying on my lap.
I found the one of like me and Tim recently.
Oh,
when I'm resting on his shoulder.
That's exactly what a person who would only speak about our meeting for 2 minutes would say. I found one of me and someone else.
The thing is, though, like,
what is it?
Meeting someone, like meeting people in general is always just short, right? So
Yeah, it's like a brief moment. Like I can like
yeah,
talk about it and talk about the entire weekend and what happened afterwards and all that kind of stuff, but it's still not like technically it's not the moment that we met.
yeah, exactly.
Like I can't
So
I can't even
I just took it a little more literal, I guess.
I can't even fathom the thoughts that rolled through my mind when I first laid eyes on you.
Right? I can't think about that either. When I first laid eyes on myself. No, but
You just look in the mirror. Is this a fucking baby? Am
yeah,
I a baby right now?
it was this little motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like. I'll be honest with you. Like, not like thinking about it right now. Like, I can't even remember meeting Kelly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have no memory of it. Like, I at least know like when you and I like met.
Yeah.
Kind of. You know what I mean? Uh like for example, I have no idea like when I met Kelly.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the case with like a lot of people. I don't remember how I met Mario Salani. Yeah, I
Now
remember.
I'm wondering how I met Mario Solani.
Right?
Huh.
But then again, he's a ninja. You know, he moves into shadows. So
Yeah, so I
maybe you already
might have
maybe you
seen
already
him and
met
not
him, but you
realized
didn't
it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I also just don't hold that much weight to it. You know, because
Yeah.
it's the thing as well. Like, especially like for you and me, where it's like, you know, obviously we're not fucking big shots in wrestling or whatever at all,
What?
but but we meet a shitload of people.
News to me.
There's a difference between wanting to be a big shot and actually being one, AJ. Okay, but
Yo, my mommy thinks I'm famous. That's all that matters.
but we still meet a shitload of people. You know what I mean?
Some would say too
It's
many.
just like, yeah, dude, I've almost 5,000 friends on Facebook.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so go figure, right? How many of them do I know? Maybe 50.
That's 50 too many.
Yeah, 4,955. Holy fuck.
Holy fuck.
Who's popular now, mom? Huh?
Remember that time we did a podcast with like Rico and Dragon, and you got on late, and for some reason your mom's Facebook was just in the Discord chat.
Yeah. Still super weird.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest moments. It was one of the funniest things. I couldn't breathe. It was so funny. So to paint the picture, me, Dragon, Rico, all talking. It's actually over Skype, and we're like, oh yeah, like Jurn's mom actually looks a lot like him. Like she's a nice lady or whatever. I forget what the subject was, but like so they linked her Facebook into it, and you come in, we start talking, everybody's going back and forth, and then all of a sudden you just hear Jurn go, why the fuck is my mom in the chat? and I lost it.
Yeah. I mean, that's fucking weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
depends how you look at it, I guess.
Dude, if it's a fucking chat with Rico and Dragan, yeah, it's fucking weird.
Oh,
dude.
fair enough.
Like,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like I know you're an innocent, sweet little boy, so like I wouldn't
Absolutely.
assume you to do anything.
I'm innocent.
But like the two of them, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about you two fellers.
I wouldn't say I'm innocent. I would say I'm like Goku, where I've done some shit, but I'm just maybe too dumb to realize it's a bad thing, or not a bad thing, but a fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Like I've definitely not done anything.
I would say you're more like Yamcha.
Yay.
You know, you used to have longer hair.
Yeah.
Now you
I
don't.
played baseball once.
Dude, I played golf this week.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Speaking of which,
dude,
big plug, Golf with Friends Drunk tomorrow on Dreamy Daddy's channel. That'll be the co-op stream for the weekend.
Yes.
Booming.
What are you going to be drinking, AJ?
Straight whiskey.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah. What about you?
I bought pina colada. But I might like just get some I might just use that as a chaser and just buy some like harder shit.
Fuck yes. I'm excited.
Tomorrow.
This is a good idea for Dreamy Daddy. So everybody go follow twitch.tv/Dreamy Daddy or on Twitter @the Dreamy Daddy.
Yes.
Also, he's not paying for us to do this, but you best believe he's gonna pay out some way or another.
He actually did a lot of work for my Discord. today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was a thing of like, he was just like offering us like, hey, like I could help it out with this and this and blah blah blah, and like he was setting up his own Discord. I was just like, why don't we just fucking combine it? You know, like I'll just make you admin of my Discord.
Oh, word.
You can add all of the shit, and then you can just like plug your shit in there as well. You know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, I guess that works too.
I don't know how Discord works, where it's like this apparently this bigger social media thing than I realized.
Yeah, I mean, like I guess it's in a way it's kind of like message boards back in the day.
Oh, okay. So that's why I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. All right. So
Did you use the frequent message board, dude?
no, not at all.
Oh man, I went hard in the paint on message boards, dude.
Shit, Freya just said, I mean, if you lived in England, I would have arranged something since I work in a bar. Shit, you know what? Future stream, all of the streamers of our somehow conglomerated federation of streamers are going to show up in England. We're going to go to Freya's bar and we're going to stream live. Don't know what yet, but now it's in the works. You brought this on yourself.
Drunk
Golf with friends in a bar.
Drunk secret Hitler.
Oh yeah, it's a card game, isn't it?
If you get found out as a fascist, you have to down an entire bottle.
Jesus. Oh man. Local headlines: Fascist gets alcohol poisoning in local pub.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Dead on arrival. No.
But yeah, I used to go hard on like the IGN message boards.
Really?
Yeah, and then later there's a website called Tekken Nation, which I don't think is active anymore. But it was a Tekken message board, so I was like very active on that as well.
Yeah, I was never involved in message boards or any of that kind of stuff, and there'd be so many people around me within wrestling because again, I've been in this forever. See, not forever, but too long. And so many people were like, "Oh, this person said this on that, or this got reviewed on that, or something like that." And I was just like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Oh, it's like message boards, the internet. And I think someone once just was like, don't go on there. It's toxic. You'll get annoyed." And I was like, "All right, cool. I don't care anyway, so I'm just not gonna do it." Like,
yeah. Dude, I remember having that like when I like got to WXW and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of guys be like, "Oh, they said this and this about you on Moonsault," you know, which is like a German message board for wrestling and shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Who gives a fuck?"
Yeah. No offense to Moonsault or any of that kind of stuff. I don't visit every once in a while. Like if there's a specific match I had that I liked that some people really tweeted me about or raved, then I'll be like, all right, maybe I'll look up this review. And, but if anything's negative is written, I don't care. I'm kind of like, whatever. I don't. It's not like it's an opinion, and it's not like it's an opinion that holds any weight with anyone like meaningful. And if it did, like it's their opinion, good for them. Like it's just.
Yeah.
So I've maybe looked at a message board or like a review, not even a message board, a review, like maybe 4 or 5 times in the past 10 years.
I do like. I always like looking up reviews. Like people put like reviews on their blog of this show and these matches, where it's never really a review. It's just a summary of what happened.
Yeah.
But and at the end they go, yeah, it was all right. You know, like or something like that. It's like, okay, I guess that's your review.
I enjoy that. I don't mind.
You're just giving away the entire show by text, but whatever.
I almost prefer that because they're not like getting heated or like putting their 2 cents in or they should have done this. They're just like, hey, this is what happened. It was fun.
Well, I don't mind if people like give their opinion about it. You know what I mean? Like even if it's fans.
Yeah.
But it's just like I take every opinion with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You know? Because I know like
which,
for me,
real quick, that phrase, I used to think it was grand assault. I used to take everything with a grand assault.
Oh man, you'll take it really hard then.
Dude, I was letting the world burn.
Oh my god, AJ, why would you tell that? But
this is what it is, baby boy.
But the thing is, like, because to me, you know, at least like, especially for my work, and this may sound like super egotistical or whatever, but the most important opinion is my own. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, did I like it? Like, as a performer, artist, or whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
we're gonna define ourselves as now.
There was a point.
Like, did I like it? Yes. Okay. This person didn't for these reasons. Okay, I could understand that, but I don't agree with it,
Yeah.
so I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
For me, the beginning of my career, it was kind of like whoever was kind of watching out for me at the time. Like mostly, it was like, all right, did Greg or Drew like it? What were their thoughts? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
And then it got to a point where it's like, I know enough. I've been around enough. I don't like. I might ask somebody's opinion if they saw it. Like I'll ask you. I'll obviously ask Andy, Walter, or something like that. But for the most part,
yeah,
I'll come back. I'll talk with my opponent, and I'll just think about it myself and be like, okay, this, that, and to be honest, 9 times out of 10, I'm way more critical than anyone else that watched it. It's just they
yeah,
might just point out something that like I wouldn't have realized, so it's helpful. But like,
yeah,
yeah, I'll think about it. I'll be like, decide whether I'm happy, indifferent, or sad. Uh, 9 times out of 10, it'll be indifferent or sad. I'm very rarely happy with it, and I'll be like, okay, this is what I
yeah,
need to work on. Let's move on now. And of course, I'll also think about like
yeah,
not just about how I felt, but like, did it accomplish the task? Did it do too much? Did it hurt the rest of the car? Did it help the rest of the car? Does it push things forward? Stuff like that. But then
yeah,
I'll come up with one of the things and I'll just move on.
yeah. Exactly. Like, I feel the same way. Yeah.
So, guys, we've definitely got off subject because we told our stories very quickly, but it's a little insight into the meeting of the magical union, the life partners of Jurn Simmons and Alexander James.
Yeah.
Platonic life partners. I think that's the right word. Tell me it's the right word.
Yeah.
Okay, cool word. So we're towards the end. It's going to be kind of a shorter one today because of time constraints and because of the subject matter. Your guys' fault. You voted for it.
Yeah.
So
You only get yourselves to blame.
yeah, we're gonna open it up to a couple questions to round this out. So if you guys have questions about, I guess in general, but also about me and Yerny's meeting and friendship, please throw it out there, and please no
Or
bullshit.
if you would like to hear about us meeting other people,
Oh yeah, that works too. That works too.
I guess you can bring that up.
Also, I don't want to see a single question in there of like, oh, who's top, who's bottom, because because I'm top, but not by choice.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, like, what the fuck?
What?
Viewership just dropped
Oh
astronomically.
yeah. Once we asked,
After
oh,
we
anybody any questions? Everybody left. Well, actually, the viewers is very misleading on the actual OBS
Yeah.
thing. Oh, question 1 from Y2 Julian: which famous duo would fit you best? I'm saying Goku and Vegeta. Like half the time, I'm Goku, you're Vegeta. The other half, when it actually comes to wrestling matters, I'm Vegeta, you're Goku.
I am a way bigger goof when it actually comes to wrestling. Yes,
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that first question?
I don't know, like Tien and Chaozu. I'm Tien.
Get fucked.
I like how this is all just no, like I'm joking. Like, I like how this is all just going like Dragon Ball. By the way,
Yeah, which maybe people should have voted for.
let me think if I can come up with like a different like fucking combination.
Mine's pretty solid though,
Something
right?
else. Yeah, it's a really good one actually. So, I mean, I could have said like Gaston and LeFou, but like that's
Yeah,
not accurate either.
Yeah, thank
But
you.
it is a combination.
Mhm.
um, I mean, God, I can't come up with anything. Oh, I know. Captain America and Ant-Man.
I'm Ant-Man, aren't I?
Yeah. Of course, I gotta be Captain America, dude.
I'll be all right with that. Yeah, the American's not going to be Captain America. The Dutch
Dude,
guy.
everybody knows. Everybody knows I bleed red, white, and blue.
There's the Dutch flag.
Yeah.
Right.
That's also the American flag.
Freya asks, "Ooh, okay. Who chose your in-ring personas?"
I mean, we both did ourselves, I suppose.
Yeah, mine was a combination of I always wanted to be one thing, and everyone my entire career was like, "Nah, you're kind of like a pretty boy. You kind of come off as a rich kid. You came up nice. You're gonna do this. Please do this for us, or be this kind of version." And so it was me reluctantly not trying to be the rich preppy asshole, but then doing it certain places to fit, and then kind of morphing it into what I wanted, and then how I wrestled. And then, to be honest, as like I became more of a full grown man, like I go back home and there's this old school wrestler named Ramblin' Rich who will always be like, "You're such a man wrestler now." Like, because I'm seeming like I'm not that stiff, but I'm seemingly hard hitting and tough, and I put in holds and I like fucking really wrench on them, and I'm aggressive, and like I'm bigger now with a beard. So he's like, "You're such a man wrestler. You were a boy before," which I take as a huge compliment. So
Sabu actually has said the same thing about me.
Fuck yeah.
Like he like because like he was around for a couple of Dutch shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a match with the then champion, lost, and then I came out and squashed the then champion and won the title because I was fucking Hulk Hogan, and that dude was Yokozuna.
Word.
And then like Sabu handed me the title, and like Sabu, like I don't know, like I got along with him great. Like he's a super chill dude, you know.
Yeah.
And like he and Tankwa got along like swimmingly as well.
Yeah,
right?
he stayed at Tankwa's house for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and like like he's one of Tankwa's heroes. So it's the thing, like they still keep in touch, I'm pretty sure. So like Sabu like asked like, "Hey, like how's Jurn doing?" You know, and then like Tankwa sent him a picture of me like when I did the whole König the Catcher stick, you know. And then he was like, "Oh man, it looks like a real wrestler." So I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, Terry, you tell him." But like, I could go like a little in depth on that question as well, I suppose. Like initially, like when I started out in Pro Wrestling Holland in the Netherlands, right? And I got booked as like young, up and coming, fiery babyface, which was probably the worst way I could have been booked because I just like am not naturally very fiery, you know. So I kept telling him like, I don't think this really fits, you know. But they were just like, "No, but you're like our only guy that's got a good physique, and you're like a good looking dude, so people like have to get behind you." I was like, I don't think that's how it works, but sure, we could try it out, you know. And then like I got to WXW, and then like they immediately booked me as like a shitty heel, you know what I mean, like as like a cocky heel. So I was just like, yeah, this fits way more, so like I'm way more comfortable with this. And then it was just a thing of they were gonna book me like as Karsten's right hand man. So I just like came up with ideas for that and like how to expand on that and all that. And like they were pretty much like, yeah, just like go for it. Yeah, I mean, so that kind of became a thing because he was like König the Catcher, like King of Catch back then. So I was just like, oh yeah, I'll become like kind of like his knight or whatever the fuck, you know. And then like I took that from him, and now I was like, yeah, I just really want to fucking roll with the whole king persona and like really like go all out with it. But then we're like, no, like you've got the big like sports entertainment entrance, we like that, so keep doing that. Keep doing that. I was like, fuck. But so then we did that, and then like later, like when it morphed and like I had the Viking like entrance music and all like that kind of stuff. Actually, like that was like all my idea as well. And it's something I talked over with Jacoby, you know, and he was super into it, and we were gonna do all this shit, and like you and I were gonna team together, right? But like Jacoby was always super welcoming to my ideas, so that was really nice. But then I broke my ankle. So that kind of stopped. And then when I came back, Jacoby left, so I was just kind of left to dry, you know.
But that's the thing, that like you breaking your ankle actually leads to a really good interaction with me and Jacoby, because like I was saying before, like it was my gimmick's a combination of things I was getting forced into, then things that like I actually liked and maybe twist to make it, like the whole like the whole Prince thing is stuff that was kind of forced on me earlier, but then like the whole like Pain Prince part of it is part of like me wanting to be more Ramsey Bolton because like I love like the instigating part of it and all that kind of stuff. And then like the way things kind of came together was me having a sit down with Jacoby and him being like he took me to lunch and was like, okay, here's your gimmick. Here's how all of this doesn't fit and how you kind of need to make it fit and what should be patched up because there shouldn't be a way I can look at any of your things and it doesn't fit the rest of you. And so that kind of evolved. And then like Walter pulled me kind of aside and was like, yeah, like pretty much said without saying like, yeah, you know how to wrestle like me and Tim because that's your natural background and what you know how to do. So do that a little bit more and stop worrying so much about the like presenting yourself as a prince because, you know, concentrate more on the pain side of it. And I was like, fuck yeah, okay, that's what I can do. And so like it's a lot easier for me, a lot more fun, and it's like an evolutionary thing. But also like as far as Jacoby receiving ideas, like he always used to say, he's like, I have trouble writing for you because I don't quite get you, but that doesn't mean what you're doing is bad. It just means I need more help to understand you and we can work on this together. I was like, okay, cool, like I appreciate that. No one really likes not being gotten, but I understand. And then like, so when you broke your ankle and I ended up in a feud with Ilya, he pretty much was just like it was just supposed to be the one night we wrestled and that was it. But Ilya was hurt. I cut a promo. Jacoby pulled me aside. He was like, yeah, you literally, your in-ring promo just wrote you like a world title feud. Cause like, how can I not now? Like wrestle less, asked to do more in-ring promos. I was like, oh, thank you, I guess. And then the next day we had shotgun tapings. He's like, okay, this is how much time you have for your angle to set up for you and Ilya. I want you to write it and bring it to me. I was like, oh, okay. So I pretty much wrote the good portion of our angle that day, especially the part we're going to film that day, and brought it to him. He's like, all right, cool, I like it, let's do it.
Do you remember, like, I remember one time as well, like, we were driving with the company car. Mm-hmm. And then, like, this was, like, when we initially feuded, like, years ago, right?
Yeah.
And Jacoby at one point turned around and was just like, hey, like, can you guys do, like, this and this, like, kind of promo? And both of us were like, yeah, sure, of course. And he was like, all right, cool. And then like we shot it that weekend. And he was like, yeah, it was great. Because like, I don't know, like, because I don't think like me and Jacoby, I know we were never like best buds.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Same.
I think like on like a personal level, he and I are like too different to really like get along or whatever.
Yeah, you're never gonna me like I think the same thing. Like we on a personal level outside of wrestling, we're never gonna be friends because we're just very different individuals.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you and Jacoby and me and Jacoby.
Yeah, like professionally though, like I got along like great with Jacoby.
Yeah, same.
Because I think like creatively and stuff, he was kind of like on the same wavelength. And then
yeah, he sees the wrestling business the same as us because he's smart.
I guess. But the thing was always like, because like after he left, I kind of like I didn't have that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have somebody to go to like pitch these creative ideas, and then like I would to different people, but they would always send me to different people, and I would end up pitching my shit like in a circle, and nothing would fucking happen. And then I would have a match, and somebody would like contact me, be like, "Hey, that match was really good, but like, what's your fucking gimmick now?" You know? Yeah. I was just like, "Yeah, all right, cool. Thanks for paying attention. Yeah, and thanks for listening to all I've had to say. Go fuck yourself." Yeah,
I think that ended up turning into so part of the thing is like when it comes to going to talking to people, you can get very frustrated, admittedly.
Yes.
And so sometimes people aren't like, when it comes to like WXW office is great. Sometimes they're not as receiving to Jurny because he can get easily frustrated and they know how he can be. But I think what ended up happening, and maybe I'm wrong, so correct me, is you would end up, whenever you had an idea, you just end up voice messaging me. Because it ended up having to do with me anyway. So then I'd tell you my idea. We'd come up with a conglomerate idea. And then we just kind of put it on me to go to whoever I could with it. Because they were always very like, oh, let's have a sit-down meeting with AJ. And I was like, okay, like, could do this with Jurn too. But like, all right, cool. And then like, it would actually get heard. And somewhat it would come to fruition.
The thing is like I didn't have those opportunities to have sit-downs with them. Because I wasn't near them.
Yeah, also I lived in the academy. So I could just walk downstairs and be like, hey, you going to listen to me?
but that was later down the line because I tried like before that like constantly just like voice messaging and texting like all these like different people, and nothing fucking would come about. It's just like, why the fuck do I even bother? You know what I mean? So like it got to a point where like, why would I even bother? And then like I would just spitball shit to you because I was just like, yeah, like Office won't fucking listen, so who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
I'll tell this jabron.
Yeah, but like at that time I was working with you. You know, we were doing the tag team stuff. So I was just like, okay, like I'll spitball it to you, see what you think, and then like we'll just fucking force it in the ring was basically what I was like thinking at that point. But yeah, and but to be fair, like that did end up leading to like us like cutting the promo in the hallway, you know. Yeah. Which all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is really good." I was like, "Yeah,
it's been good."
Yeah, it's like, who would have fucking guessed? You know, like the guy who made like your fucking unified champion for over a year, and then after it was done, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he did really well." And then the fly-in that everybody says like fits in really well, and then like when shit gets fumbled, he elevates himself into the main event spot right away. Wow, who would have fucking guessed that would have been good? You know?
Yeah. It's just like, and thank you for that, but also not to pat myself on the back. Like we're always the go-tos. Like, oh, they'll be one and done promo wise, and like I was literally told by the office, like, oh, we should just have you talk more. And then when we're teaming, it kind of fades away. And this isn't complaints. It's in the past. It's all been addressed. It all worked out swimmingly. Yeah. But then, like, who would have guessed the guy who, like, the president of the company was like, oh yeah, you can make money if you just talk. Like, and then of course Ernie, like, of course it's gonna be good. Like, come on.
Yeah, dude. Like, they had me like when I was champion initially. Like I think I've told this before. I don't know if I did it on our podcast, but I've told it before, like in other interviews and stuff. Initially, I was supposed to hold the title for 1 or 2 months. I was supposed to be transitional champion, but then they kept the title on me for 10. Because like they had me like on Shotgun every week, and I would cut like 5 to 10 minute promos, and every time they would get like people respond. It's like, yeah, this is the best thing at Shotgun. You know, like they had other wrestlers being like, yeah, Jurn Simmons' promos are the best thing at Shotgun. You know, and that's not to like fucking suck myself off endlessly, but
endlessly.
It but it's just the thing. I was like, yeah, like. I know, like, I can do that, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like, it's just at some point, shit got screwed. I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But, you know,
we moved
it is what it is. Like, it happens. Like, I'm past it now, you know? Like, I'm in a pretty good place with that stuff now. Yeah. But that was heated for a long time.
Yeah, fair enough. We both were, but worked through it, got things settled, and we did some cool stuff in the end.
Yeah,
and again, the question all came off of like who chose your in-ring personas, but like it's ever changing and it's constantly evolving. And I don't think you're ever finished, but I'm definitely as close as I could be to a good, ready for TV product now than I've ever been. I would say same for Ernie.
Yeah, probably.
But so with that being said, it's time to wrap it up. Somehow we made this this choice of yours last an hour, but maybe next time. Pick the thing that's in the first position on the poll. God damn it!
Because we got the gift of the gab, baby. We can talk about anything.
Also, for as many votes as this that poll got, this better get hella rewatches on the YouTube when it comes out. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining us, and we hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on Dreamy Daddy's stream for that sweet, sweet, sweet Golf with Friends.
Yes, we're going to get really fucking wasted.
Hell yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.